Netflix told the story of the crash, but not the whole story. In this video, we're taking a closer look at the facts, evidence, and controversies that were largely left out of the documentary. On July 31, 2022, what seemed like an ordinary summer night turned into a tragedy that would capture the attention of the entire United States. What began as a car crash soon became one of the most talked about murder cases in recent years. Netflix tells the story in the crash, but there are several important details that were barely mentioned, or not mentioned at all. Today, we're taking a deeper look into the case. In the early morning hours of July 31, 2022, 17-year-old Mackenzie Sherilla was driving through Strongsville, Ohio. Inside the car were her boyfriend, 20-year-old Dominic Russo, and their friend, 19-year-old Davian Flanagan. At approximately 5:30 a.m., the Toyota Camry slammed into a brick wall at nearly 100 miles per hour. Dominic and Davian were killed almost instantly. Mackenzie survived against all odds. At first, it appeared to be a tragic accident, but investigators quickly discovered something unusual. Data recovered from the vehicle showed that the accelerator pedal was fully pressed just moments before impact. There were no signs of braking, no attempt to swerve, no indication of panic. That evidence eventually became the foundation of the prosecution's argument. This was not an accident. According to prosecutors, Mackenzie intentionally drove the car into the building following an argument with Dominic. Netflix covers much of this debate. However, the documentary barely touches on several controversial details that later emerged during the investigation and trial. One of the most notable examples involves a hospital recording. Shortly after the crash, Mackenzie was questioned by police while receiving medical treatment. During that time, a conversation between her and her mother was recorded in the background. According to prosecutors, the two appeared to be speaking in a self-created code language. During the conversation, Mackenzie allegedly asked her mother to tell police that she may have suffered a seizure or medical episode. This recording was used during the trial, but received very little attention in the Netflix documentary. Another important aspect was the defense's focus on a medical explanation. Mackenzie's attorneys argued that she may have lost consciousness due to a condition known as POTS, a disorder that can cause dizziness and fainting. However, first responders testified that they saw no evidence of a medical emergency. Investigators also argued that the vehicle data did not support the theory that the driver had blacked out before the crash. Another part of the story that often goes overlooked is the role of Davian Flanagan. Many people barely know his name, despite the fact that he also lost his life that morning. According to later reports, Davian had not originally planned to ride with Mackenzie that night. He was reportedly supposed to go home another way. But plans changed at the last minute, placing him in the vehicle, a decision that ultimately cost him his life. After his death, Davian's family established a scholarship fund in honor of his dream of becoming a barber. The fund raised tens of thousands of dollars. Yet this side of the story received little attention in the documentary. The Russo family also went through a significant change in perspective. Immediately after the crash, some family members believed Mackenzie had no intention of harming anyone. In the early stages of the investigation, they even supported her. That changed as detectives gathered phone records, witness statements, and messages. According to prosecutors, this evidence painted a picture of a relationship that had become increasingly troubled. Eventually, Dominic's family fully supported the murder charges. Another aspect Netflix only briefly addresses is the enormous online debate surrounding the case. Across Reddit, TikTok, and other social media platforms, thousands of people argued over whether Mackenzie was guilty of murder or whether the crash was simply a tragic accident. Some believe the documentary left out key evidence that supported the prosecution. Others argued that it failed to give enough attention to possible medical explanations. The case became much more than a criminal trial. It evolved into a discussion about social media influence, public opinion, and the way true crime documentaries shape narratives. Another detail that received little attention involves messages Mackenzie reportedly sent after the crash. According to multiple reports, she sent a message expressing remorse to a member of Dominic's family. Medical staff also testified about statements she allegedly made that prosecutors viewed as signs of guilt. These details are largely absent from Netflix's version of events. In August 2023, the court finally delivered its verdict. The judge concluded that the crash had been intentional. Mackenzie Shirilla was convicted of murder and sentenced to 2 concurrent terms of 15 years to life in prison. During the proceedings, the judge famously referred to her as hell on wheels. To this day, Mackenzie maintains that she cannot remember the crash and insists she never intended to kill anyone. Her legal team continues to challenge the conviction, and her first opportunity for parole is currently scheduled for 2037. But for the families of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan, no court ruling can change the most important fact. 2 young men never made it home that morning, and perhaps that's why this case continues to fascinate so many people. Because despite all the forensic evidence, courtroom arguments, and documentaries, one question remains. Was this truly an intentional act, or a tragedy whose full truth may never be known? What do you think? Did the court reach the right verdict, or are there still too many unanswered questions? Let us know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss future cases, be sure to subscribe to Crime Static for more true crime stories and mysterious cases.